So I did it. I got the monkey off my back. I won gold today. 2 matches, and they both went to distance. My first goal was to have a match that went the whole time. First win was 8-3, and then 20-0 for gold at Victory or Valhalla from Pikes Peak Grappling. It was amazing. I had a great time. And after losing the 6 matches, I started to think my jiu-jitsu was sucked. This week was bad. Like, I kept getting my ass kicked, and I didn't even want to compete, maybe. And then I just kept doing the work, going to the gym. I wasn't even really feeling great this morning. I was all thumbs, dropping stuff. So my attitude was coming in here to treat it like sparring. I was going to fight one of my teammates that I've never sparred with. And actually, I had seen him since I met him in person, but I had never sparred with him. And then the other guy was 63 years old, so 20 years more than me. And he had fought Michael before me, but which made him gas out really quick. And you could tell. I started off with a 5-0 break out of closed guard on him, and I could hear his shoulder really crank on it when I pushed it. So, and that's when I just went to work. 20-0, right? It was a different attitude. I was trying to treat everything like sparring, and I was going to the gym again, right? Instead of everything so serious. I didn't even really warm up like I normally do. I did my stretches, and a little bit of, bouncing around and stuff like that. But when I warmed up with a training partner, it was like 1 or 2 little takedown things, moving a top guard, passing, just to get in the mindset. And then bottom guard, work on my Z-guard shield that I worked with Sam on. And all that stuff that I worked with Sam on came up. Thank you so much, Sam. You're amazing. If you're not following Sam Peralta on any social media, you absolutely should. If you don't want a private lesson with him, you're crazy, because he's amazing and it's worth the price. My first match was up against Michael Carey. I was trying to treat these matches like sparring because, well, first off, he's on my own team. It also turns out he's a Marine, so Army versus Marines. And he's warning us about wrist locks are allowed now, and, I had talked to him before the match, and I told him what my plan was. So, trying to make sure establish inside position, and people hate when I do that little cross collar choke. So I got the underhooks. We're just fighting for inside position for a while. He really does not like that. Neither competitor liked when I do that. Most people don't. And I did a little shimmy, and now I'm cranking on his head. He goes for these Russians a couple times, a little 2-on-1s, and ends up being a takedown, but I ended up in a half guard, controlling his head, trying to make sure I'm not in lockdown, because BJJ rules, right? But I can still move his feet like lockdown as long as I don't extend the knee. So I gotta make sure to get the underhook. And I'm working to get the frame, push him away, and then he goes to mount, which was pretty easy to trap his knee back in the half guard. As long as you keep your knees turned downward, usually you can get them, and then while you're pushing. So this time, I frame away and I get my Z-guard going, grab his tricep, and he wants to try to kind of pass, but he doesn't understand the Z-guard. He goes to grab a foot, and then I was like, okay, you want to play foot game? I'll go to outside Ashi here. And I was going to go DOA, and then he sat back on his own ankle, and I just laughed at him. Because that wasn't going to happen, dog. I actually had the position a little better, so I used it to come up. And now let's play my little headquarters game, right? Push the frame away and get him back to the mat, and he went to a little half butterfly closed guard thing. right? So I come back up again, and I didn't like it, so I just kind of make sure to reset, back away, you know. I was going to push his arm, but I pushed his head. Make sure to keep that foot on the outside, right? And I felt like I was kind of stronger than him, but he ends up later proving me wrong, right? So I wanted to reset. Let's start from the beginning. It's 3-2, right? I'm losing. I didn't even know. He goes for that Russian arm again, so I was going to try to use it against him on a throw. I grabbed the underhook, reset. You know, let's go at it again. Let's try some collar tie stuff. He didn't like the neck crank before, so he tries his own thing against me, and yeah, that's not going to work. And here comes the Russian again. I use it to come up on his head, and this is how I got him down, right? Once I get you here, I'm a wrestler. Like, I'm just going to, you can't have my leg, I get your back. And I guess they give you points for doing it like that. I guess he considered it a takedown. So now I'm trying to get my hooks in. Now I get the points for the back. Got the body triangle lock, trying to, now here's where, shaky cam. That won't happen again anymore, by the way, I'm sorry. But yeah, and then I started grabbing his choke, right? So I pulled him up on top of me. And now I'm going for the choke, but he's really fighting my hands. He used it to peel up top there. He was talking about that, how he peeled it up top, but that was the first part. Because there's a part here where we're fighting a little bit. And I guess my finger tape got ripped off right there. So that's who ripped it off. So now I tried the other way, right? So he fought my hand. Go back to the other direction. And then he peels the top hand, except this time, I should have pinned his hand, man. But this time I get the knife in, right? But for some reason, when I crank right here, I don't understand why he doesn't choke. And it turns out it's because he's a Marine. I'm just like, come on, man. Right? I'm squeezing with everything I got. My arms are starting to get tired. You can feel it. So he peels it off. And I'm going to use it to come up in the mount. Almost got some points before he flips me over. And the ref turns and calls that he flipped me in the closed guard right there. So, but that's, you know, I guess they're giving a little leeway for the masters or, you know, just for the sake of time. We're not arguing about that, but I don't think BJJ would have started us in closed guard right there. And now I looked over at the clock, right? So I'm just going to try to cook him. I didn't believe I won any of these matches. I really didn't. I didn't feel good coming into this week. And feel good coming in today. My warm-up felt good. You know, it wasn't overkill. Just glad to get the match over. It was good fun. It was really good. I couldn't believe it. Mahalo. Now I'm facing a 63-year-old. Turns out for the gold medal. You know, he had just lost to Michael, and so now we've established the inside position. They really hate that choke when I throw that cross like that. And this guy was really strong. I thought that's why I wanted to fight him. I wanted to see it, you know, get the single leg, use it to come down. And I shouldn't have passed that way. I got right into his closed guard, right? Should have went forward with the knee cut. So I decided I was going to go 5-0 with him. And this is the 5-0 pass. Thanks, Devin. And it was amazing. It was really surreal to have all these people from D1 and my best friend, my mom, just everybody watching me. It was really amazing. So I'm working on the 5-0. You know, coach is telling me here that I gotta use my right elbow to open and close guard, right? But I really couldn't, because if I would have did that, I would have lost his wrist, and I lose it right there a little bit. And then when I crank it right there, he like wrenched in pain, and that's when he opened his guard. And I really thought I was about to get his back, but we ended up in north-south, right? And I could have maybe dropped down on the Kimura. But I was really worried about him rolling. But it turns out he was really tired. So I worked into, some stuff here, trying to get the underhook, trying to get him to move, trying to get an arm or something. So he starts turning into me. I grab the head, I got the head kind of just pinned, and he's grabbed my leg, which was probably a bad idea, to be honest. I maybe could have grabbed for a darce right there, but as soon as I go for it, he puts his armpit on the ground, right? And now here we go, a little scramble, and I thought I was going to get his back, and we end up on the other side. So now I got to start my pass from this side. It's a little knee cut. I got around fairly easy. Get some side control, and he overhooks my arm right there. So I go knee on belly, because I heard knee on belly from the crowd. Pretty sure that was Colin. And then coach is yelling at me to pass it right in the mouth. Get another 4 points. Now I'm up 16-0, and I'm just trying to cook his arm here. Maybe go for a head and arm choke. Making sure to base out and not get rolled over again. Thanks, Sam, for reminding me about that stuff, right? Because I could hear his coach telling him, go this way, go that way. And I really wanted him to give his back here, but I just couldn't get the lat. So coach says triangle, and I end up missing it right here, inverted triangle. Go to the regular triangle, no omoplata, because other way. He grabs a single, and coach says come up. But I end up going to this quasi half guard. Almost got past, right? Good knee shield, controlling the arm. And then he grabs my head, which is a bad idea, because once I pop out, I just got his back, right? And he keeps grabbing my head because it's just right there. While he's grabbing my head, I'm working on the body lock. Step over with the leg just to keep him pinned. Maybe use that as a kind of a Von Flu. Pop my head out. Now I'm in mount, right? And we're both looking at each other right here, like tired, right? I don't remember what we said to each other, but yeah, it was kind of like, can we just chill here for a second? Because he's 60 years old. And this is his second match. And they fought, Michael and him fought right before this. There wasn't much of a break, maybe 2 to 5 minutes. I don't think it was 10. I really don't. This was kind of fast. Even I felt like I didn't have much time between me and Michael and him. And Michael ended up submitting him in 2 minutes. I think it was an armbar, I forget. So right here, I'm trying to work his arms and cook him a little bit. He's keeping them arms super tight, so I don't really have a whole lot for that, except trying to maybe pull on his arms, keep that leg out there. Now I'm trying to gift wrap. That's not really working. I can't get under. This guy was really smart. Anytime I move, he would counter it, except for the basic position. So now I'm working on the arm bar. I got it pinned to his head. I got him pinned down, but I still can't get really a hook. Coach tells me step over, so I step over, right? Trying to rip the arm bar before the end of the match. And he did a really good job defense. I almost had it right there. Dang, man. That's okay, because we won. First gold medal. I honestly couldn't believe it. I really thought I blue belt blues, right? Or something, I don't know. It's just been a rough week. Been a rough month. This just goes to show you that after having a bad week or even a bad month or a bad day, that jiu-jitsu can just fix it for you. It can make all of it go away. If you like it, hit the like button. Maybe we'll get the bike fixed soon because I broke the freaking dry belt.